Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly value, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Okay. So I got a clip that I want to show. The clip is 5 years old, mind you. This is not super recent. This is a 5-year-old clip. And it's just as relevant now as it was 5 years ago. And I just want y'all to take a listen to what's going on here. Wait. I'm supposed to share the screen first, right? Okay. So as per usual, I'm going to just add this over it. These are the ladies that are speaking. And the clip is 6 minutes and 11 seconds. And we're just going to go through. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. You know, and I had somebody in the comment section that wanted to know why I didn't say more positive things or have shows where we focus on not the problems of women, but more solution or more positivity towards them. To that, I say there are lots of channels that do that make women feel good. And shout out to those channels. I have nothing against anything like that. Everybody does their own content differently. I can give you solutions. I don't mind solutions. I like solutions. But the medicine does not taste good. And I'm not really interested in putting sugar in it to make it taste good. Without further ado, here we go.
Ladies, has anything like this ever happened to you? Watch.
It's open. It's open.
I don't go out on dates with guys who don't open the door for me.
Really?
Really?
Seriously?
Yes.
Oh, man.
No, he didn't.
Well, according to a recent survey by Match.com, 73% of women believe that chivalry is dead. And according to one of our next guests, she explains in her new op-ed, it's because women killed it. Suzanne Venker is a columnist and an author of The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage. And joining her to discuss is Wendy Acefo, a professor at Johns Hopkins University and a Democratic strategist. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Good morning.
Okay, so Suzanne, you wrote this op-ed. Wendy, I know you've read it. I've read it, and you compare a telegram that was sent to a woman right before she got married to a Facebook video. The first one I want to read is back in the day, back in 1954. Your friend, her mother just recently died. Your friend was going through a memorabilia. She finds this telegram, and it says, this is the husband writing it to his soon-to-be wife. Darling, I shall be waiting for you at 8 with a lifetime of expectancy. My heart will be coming with you down the aisle. May God be with us tonight as we pray we will always be with him. Thank you for becoming my wife. My love forever yours, Henry. Then several days later, Suzanne, you saw on Facebook this video where this person was saying, chivalry is harmful to both men and women because it reinforces this idea that women need to be helped or saved by a stronger man, and it takes away a woman's agency. So you saw these two contrasts, and you decided to write the op-ed. Explain that a little for us.
Sure. So it just struck me as just, wow. I mean, the stark contrast between this beautiful letter that really moved me to seeing this message from this woman basically selling the same tired message that men have been hearing for decades, which is, I can do it by myself. I'm strong enough. You don't need to hold the door open for me. You don't need to pay my way. You don't need to basically anything that's sort of traditionally male and female in terms of the courtship is just gone. And after so many years of hearing that, my argument is that men have effectively said, okay, well, you said you don't want it, so I guess I'm not supposed to do it. And if I do it, then you're going to be insulted. So they're really lost and confused about what it is that women want. And I think women are just as confused because they've been sold this message that chivalry is bad or somehow destructive to women, when of course it's not at all. And so we have a problem.
Wendy, what do you think? Are we to blame women?
I wouldn't go as far as to say that women kill chivalry. Whether you look at from Cardi B to Beyonce or working moms like myself or even countless others, what we have done is we have evolved the conversation of what it means to be a woman in today's society. And what that means is, we're doing it all. And it basically means that men have to basically rise to the occasion to meet us where we are. We are not, the mothers of our past, and there was nothing wrong with that. But we are getting our arms involved in a lot of things, and we're busy doing and juggling millions of things. So chivalry is not dead in the essence of we don't want men to open doors for us. But what we are saying is, you have to handle us and you have to handle our full-time job as well.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to pause that right there. We're going to pause that right there. She said a couple of things that was stupid. Yes, the other lady is Suzanne Venker. Okay. Shout out to Suzanne Venker. The nonsense. The first thing she started off with was women like Cardi B and Beyonce. Ma'am. You are not, you. Do I have to say it? Do I have to say that y'all are not them? And why are they? They are not the average, common, everyday woman in terms of finances nor fame. They are living a different life in a lot of ways. We are talking about the average, everyday woman having ruined dating, having not only killed chivalry, but ruined the dating scene completely to such an extent that people don't know that there is a such thing as courting. That's how far we've gone into the trash, into the sewer, into the gutter. I want you to guess which one of them chicks was the black chick. Right? Because she up here talking about Cardi B. Ma'am. Excuse me? Not only did she say Cardi B and Beyonce, that was horrific enough. Then she started in with that bimbo backfoot babble about how the women have risen and the men need to rise to the occasion. They need to rise to what? What they rising up to? Where are you at? I think the thing that astounds me the most is that these chicks think that because they was able to make a couple of dollars, that made them better. This is some of the worst. This is the worst crop of women that I have ever seen. The worst crop of women. Y'all got the most opportunity. Y'all the freest women in the world. Y'all got the most opportunity to go out here to work and to have little businesses and whatever it is that you're trying to do. Whatever. I'm not going to go down the list. But there's nothing in the society by way of environment or law or policy or anything like that that stops women in this country from doing any of them things. The fact that y'all think going outside and willingly going to add additional stress to yourself in terms of trying to chase careers and trying to climb some corporate ladder somewhere and stressing yourself out. The fact that y'all think that that was a form of freedom, it lets me know all I need to know anyway. What group of women? See, the women of the past knew they didn't want that. Why would I want to go out there and do exactly what my husband do? I don't want to do that. Okay? Anything that I do in terms of labor and hard work, that'll be something that I gotta do. It's certainly not going to be anything that I'm going to get somewhere and try to march to try to make sure I can do. Just like you had female comedians was like, and I think she was an Asian lady, and she was like, who told women to fight to work? We had it made. Who did that? Which one of the women of the past did that foolishness? We had it made. All we had to do was be at the house and act like we couldn't do nothing. Okay. was the woman that decided to tell all the men that not only do we know how to do it, we want to do it? Whose bright idea was that? And even though she said it as a comedic skit, you know, it was part of her stand-up material, yeah, she had a point. Whose stupid idea was that? Now you got this idiot on this panel sitting up there talking about, well, it's not that we don't want doors open for us. That's exactly what you're talking about. You don't want men to be men because you argued at them about chivalry. You argued at men about masculinity. You called it toxic. You said that you didn't need no help. Y'all don't smile or say thank you or be gracious when it comes to men even doing things like opening the door, holding the door open for you or something like that. Just generally in public, you know, you see somebody coming behind you and you hold the door till they get there. That kind of stuff. Y'all don't say thank you. Y'all scowl and mean and snarl and all kind of stuff. So that's exactly what you meant. That's exactly what you meant. That you didn't want men to even be cordial or nice to you anymore. That was somehow doing something to you. That they was babying you or trying to say you need help. You do. You want to be babied anyway. You want somebody to overlook everything and don't take accountability and responsibility for nothing. You do want to be babied. I have not seen you in forever, Philip. I hope that you're doing well. And thank you so much. Say, hey, Kay, making a rare appearance. Rare indeed. Good seeing you. Keep cooking. Good seeing you too. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Reese said the woman that was married at 14 stayed married for over 80 years would beg to differ. Exactly. Thank you, Common Man. Said there's no such thing as an alpha female. The top female is called a matriarch. The matriarch leads both men and women, keeping both sexes in their proper places. Kendra, you are a matriarch. Thank you so much. Said JS, it's like these women never contemplated that men could just stop dealing with them. From MGTOW, passport bros, and everything in between. Thank you, Barry, for your contribution, sweetheart. Thank you, Donovan Sweet. Says she's using Cardi B and Beyonce as examples of modern women, but the two of them are wives and mothers, and she not even thinking about that. She not even thinking about that. We're gonna go back to the video because it's interesting. We'll just go back. Okay.
You make a good point in this op-ed, Suzanne. You talk about how it's not that we can't open our own doors. It's not that we can't pay for our own food, but you say that does it show a sign of respect, or like why is it important to let a woman do those things?
Right. So what's been lost in this whole 40-year experiment, really, or progress, however you want to define it, is the yin and yang, or the dance between women and men. And men and women now are completely confused and lost about who's supposed to do what, who wants what, and what women specifically are confused about is men, and how that is in their DNA to provide and protect women. That is who they are. That is their identity. And we've essentially ripped it out of them. And when they become unmoored. I mean, if you don't let them do what's in them to do, you're going to disrupt that dance. And so what I'm trying to say is, look, masculinity and femininity are wonderful things in and of themselves. And when they work in tandem, sparks fly. I mean, it's awesome, but we're not allowing that to happen because we are infused with this message about equality, which this idea that men and women are the same when they are not. And so that gesture of holding the door open, I was just using as one example, is not men trying to oppress women. It's they want to please them. They want to take care of them. They want to show them honor, really. And we knew this in the past. Everybody knew this, and this has gotten completely lost in the last 40 years. You can see that in that telegram, how deeply that was felt and understood. And women today want that. You read that telegram, who would not want that, right?
Yeah,
but how are we going to get there if we, I mean, it's just, Wendy, we've got to get back to understanding.
Wendy, do you think if we're all, I've heard it said that we are created the same. I mean, we are both equally as important, but created differently in our needs and our wants. Right. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that to some extent. And as a wife and as a mother of 2 little boys, I believe that the strength of a woman is also what makes men respect us even more. We are not necessarily damsels in distress here. We can open doors for ourselves.
I can't. Did y'all hear her say that? Oh. This is... I'm going to run it back just a little bit.
To some extent. And as a wife and as a mother of 2 little boys, I believe that
understanding.
Wendy, do you think if we're all, I've heard it said that we are created the same. I mean, we are both equally as important, but created differently in our needs and our wants. Right. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that to some extent. And that's...
How is it that you agree with it to some extent? How you agree to that just to some extent? Anything to not have to own up to it all the way, leaving the wiggle room for the foolishness. How is it that what part of that statement wouldn't you agree with? That men and women are created with equal importance. However, we are not made the same and we don't do the same things. We are not the same at all. How is it that you get up here talking about to a point, to some extent? How is to some extent? I'm struggling with what part of those sentences was not appropriate. As a wife, I have importance in this marriage. What I do as a wife and as a woman is highly critical to the success of this marriage. Whether I do those things properly or I don't do those things properly, that is critical to the success or the failure of our marriage. Equally, what my husband does as a man and as a husband, if he does that job properly, this will contribute greatly to the success of this marriage. And if he does not do that job properly, it will contribute greatly to the failure of the relationship. So even though what my husband does in this marriage is quite different than what I do in this marriage, we both got to pull in the same direction. I have a weight to pull. He has a weight to pull. And if we pull it in opposite directions, or if one of us doesn't pull our part of that weight, this is going to be a fail. This is going to be a fail. It's not going to work. So there is importance on both sides. But we are not the same. What my husband looks for out of me and out of this relationship, not the same as what I'm looking for out of him. How is it that you don't agree with that part of it? What's wrong with you? Why it's always us? Always us with the foolishness. We can continue.
As a wife and as a mother of 2 little boys, I believe that the strength of a woman is also what makes men respect us even more. We are not necessarily damsels in distress here. We can open doors for ourselves. We can do things for ourselves. And we welcome men to also open doors for us as well. But it's okay for a woman to be strong. It's okay for...
No, it's that thinking right there. I'm going to pull it back just a few seconds. This is what kills Black women. This is what kills Black women. This is what kills every hyena, whether she's Black, white, polka dot, whatever she is. This statement right here that she makes.
Strength of a woman is also what makes men respect us even more.
The strength of a woman is what makes men respect us even more. She believes that the strength of a woman is what makes men respect us even more because we're not damsels in distress. The problem with that statement is that y'all don't know what the strength of a woman is. Men are not impressed by us being able to go and get some type of job. They've been working. That's not impressive to them. It's not impressive to them. See, this is what y'all don't understand. Men are not impressed when y'all come through and talk about y'all done already bought a house. Men are not impressed when y'all come through and y'all done got this car, a certain type of car, or you wear a certain type of clothes or whatever. You working 60 hours a week and all. Men are not impressed by that. I don't care if you built a business from the ground up and was a millionaire with a successful business. Men would not be impressed with that from you. He would be impressed with that from another man. If a man told another man that I was able to create a business model that was so successful that I got like 2-3 businesses and all of them make me millions of dollars a piece, a man is impressed with that man, especially if that man has got all of his stuff together too. He's living right. His health is right. His family is right. His money right. What he do with his money, his education, his mindset, all of those things, his values, all of that. Men become kind of impressed with other men and like, okay, I can respect that. I can respect that. Men get respect for other men based on those men's accomplishments. Men will respect other men based on their level of production, accomplishments, achievements in whatever aspect of life. Because that is what men do. So they are respecting one another based on what men actually do. Because the men understand what kind of work goes into different things. So if you got a man that's looking to get his health right and he, get around other men that's, they physique is tight, You know, they eating regimen is tight. They exercise regimen is tight. And they've been doing that for years. A man to be like, oh, okay, respect. Because they understand he had to put in work to get to that point. So if I want to be in that place, then I got to do the work. And I understand what kind of work. When women come to men with that same energy, it don't phase them one way or the other. The reason why it don't phase them one way or the other is because if you, as a woman, succeeded in an area that is masculine, they know that you had to become masculine and do that. This is a turnoff. Okay. If you did have to climb a corporate ladder to get to a certain place, he knows what kind of energy you had to have in order to get there, especially if he's done something similar. Then he know what he had to do. He know what kind of person he had to be at that workplace to get to a certain level. You as a woman doing it, not impressive. Really, they be trying to figure out why'd you do that. What makes men respect women is the femininity of women. See, y'all don't understand that that's actually the strength. That's the superpower of women. Not trying to compete with men in the arenas of men. That don't impress them when women come to do that in droves. Women come to try to do the same things that men do and men have been doing, and that men are going to excel in over the best woman in that field. He going to excel. You can have a strong woman who can deadlift a lot of weight for a woman. Like, oh man, she's strong. She can lift that. She can lift that. Oh man, what is that? Oh, okay, that's cool. And then you have a man over there to lift double in that. And he's competing with another man that lift more than that. She was cool for that. I mean, okay. Nobody knocking it, but okay. You don't understand. See, that statement is wrong from where she coming from. She thinks the strength of women is them competing in men's places. That's actually the weakness of women. That's a weakness of women. Y'all don't understand that. Just like how y'all think men be sassy when they try to do what women do. You understand that? You see how you don't really look at his masculinity no more? If a man come around talking about, you know what I'm saying, he can, I don't know, he do his makeup better and he wear higher heels and he able to walk in them. Like, it's like, that may be so, but why you over here trying to do it? You sassy. I hope you don't think that boosts your masculinity up or something. It's like a, you know, you a anomaly. It's like a clown or something. Why do we care? Go try to do what men do. Go do what men do. That don't make you respect his masculinity no more. So the same thing goes on with the men and the women. When women come to do what men do, that doesn't make him look at your femininity. He be like, oh, okay. But I don't know why you're doing it. Femininity makes men respect women. The level of softness. Is it me or is this camera unfocused? Okay. It's the level of softness that make men have an ultimate respect for women. It's her level of femininity, her level of being able to understand proper leadership and being able to follow proper leadership the correct way. That is where the respect is coming from. My husband respects me, first of all, because I respect him. And I demonstrate that respect towards him by following his leadership properly and in the way in which best suits our relationship and marriage. Therefore, I get respect out of him. I get love out of him and I get respect out of him. He don't disrespect me. He doesn't see a soft woman and then see a target where he could just walk all over and he could just say stupid, crazy stuff and he could just do anything. That's not what he sees. He sees a woman like, okay, I need to respect her. I love her. It's peaceful, blah, blah, blah. That's what he see. He don't see the other crazy. He don't see no crazy stuff. Now, had I been a bad follower, too masculine, unable to follow his leadership, then we got another story. Knowing you'll mess around and get cussed out. It just is what it is. Then you'll be sitting somewhere looking crazy because you're trying to figure out why he talked to you like that. We're going to go to a commercial break. I'm going to put the link out for the ladies, and then we're going to continue the show. So after these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello, my Crimsonites and all of my supporters. I invite you to go and get your copy of my new book, Reclaiming the Black Feminine, The Lies of Feminism and the Road to Recovery, on sale now at crimsoncure.com. This is guaranteed to change your perspective and positively impact your life. So go ahead now to crimsoncure.com and get your copy today.
So you definitely want to go to crimsoncure.com, pick up your copy of Reclaiming the Black Feminine, Lies of Feminism and Road to Recovery, on sale now. And let me get to these super chats. Let's see. Thank you, Mike. Said, Crimson, you are looking absolutely amazing in that black and gray. Thank you so much. These colors don't be showing up the way they need to show up because this is actually army green. The glasses are actually army green too, but I know they don't even show up. I think they look black in the camera, but in any case, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Enigma. So don't tell them that it was Mr. Cartwright that went to the feminist movement and told leadership to promote baby deletions and workplace rights. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you so much. Common Man said feminists are mixing up the terms. It's like calling unwed mothers single mothers. In reality, there's no such thing as a single mother. When a woman has a child, she is no longer one person. Thank you so much for your super sticker, Miss Lou Casely. Thank you, JS. Said what goes unspoken is that women allowed LGBT feminists to lead the way ideologically and mold their worldview of how to view themselves and men. They've deconstructed and redefined womanhood. And worse yet, they deconstructed it and then left the definition unformed. And that's so women are confused. So they actually, I would differ on men being confused. Women are the ones that are confused. Thank you again, Donovan said, if a man wrote a letter like that in the 2020s, the modern woman would consider that too nice and boring and reject him. Doesn't that fact alone prove women killed chivalry? Exactly. Thank you so much, Timothy Humphrey, for your super sticker, sweetheart. Thank you, Vietnamese. Said, thanks, sis. Me understand as if in the Super Mario movie, even if Princess Peach is the hero, the responsibility of protecting her brothers and the kingdom falls on us. Thank you so much, Grand Cat. Said, when women don't respect themselves, they don't respect the men who commit to them. This limits their capacity to love their men. Thank you so much. Said, what do you expect from the group of women who tried to burn down MLK's home to not understand who men are or their true power? And how you doing, Nuruddin? Say, Kendra, there's a video of a lovely lady in Atlanta that tried to burn Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. home down. Took 2 off-duty New York City police officers on vacation to stop her. That's great. Wait a minute. That's recent? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are y'all saying that that's a recent development? Okay. Who is Lanisha? Oh, God. Lanisha Chantrice Henderson, woman who tried to burn MLK home down. A Florida woman is facing multiple charges after allegedly attempting to burn down the childhood home of Martin Luther King Jr., according to local law enforcement. Lanisha Chantrice Henderson, and a crazy young, she 26, crazy as a bat, is charged with second-degree attempted arson and interference with government property, the Atlanta Police Department wrote in a press release published Thursday. She was reportedly stopped by multiple citizens from causing any damage, including 2 off-duty New York police officers who helped detain her. On Thursday at around 5:45 p.m., officers with the ADP responded to a report of vandalism in progress at 501 Auburn Avenue. That is where they say they found Henderson, who, according to a preliminary investigation, had poured gasoline onto the property. She was immediately placed under arrest and transported to the Grady Detention Center for psychological evaluation. Henderson will be transferred to Fulton County Jail once discharged. An ADP spokesperson had no further comment on Friday to Newsweek, aside from saying that the investigation is ongoing and could change as it progresses. According to records obtained by Newsweek, Henderson is from Brandon, Florida, and is registered to vote, but does not currently belong to any political party in the state. A police report shows that officers seized the gasoline can and fuel at the scene, along with Henderson's iPhone and a black Chevy Cruze. Among the citizens who called 911, detained Henderson, and required assistance were two males from Utah who were in town for work-related purposes and were visiting King's home, which is designated as a historical landmark. When the witnesses arrived, they noticed a woman in all black pouring what seemed to be water at the time over the bushes, according to the incident report. At this moment, they didn't think anything of it and proceeded to ask Ms. Henderson if she was upkeeping the plants by watering them, but got no response. They asked additional questions and became more suspicious, eventually noticing the container did not resemble a watering can, but a gas can. When they realized what was going on, they started to plead with Ms. Henderson to stop, but she was ignoring them. It also seemed as if she started to rush and pour the gas out faster on and around the historical house. They saw no other option but to try to apprehend her. Along with the help of other bystanders in the area, they tried to get her detained. While trying to stop her, Henderson allegedly was trying to spark a lighter to ignite the gas on the property and bushes. Bystanders took the lighter away from her and waited for authorities to arrive. When Henderson was detained, she was wearing black socks, no shoes. Multiple surveillance cameras in the area reportedly captured the incident on video, which is being submitted as evidence in the case. Local news station says it spoke to Henderson's father, who related that she is a veteran going through a mental health episode. Her father told them they have been trying to find her for 2 days. Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum told the news that the actions of the two Utahns saved an important part of American history tonight. If the witnesses hadn't been here and interrupted what she was doing, it could have been a matter of seconds before the house was engulfed in flames. One of the people, Zach Kemp, told the news station that the situation was a little scary for a minute because nobody knew if Henderson had any weapons on her. Meanwhile, the King Center released a statement. Tonight, an unfortunate incident occurred at the birth home of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as an individual attempted to set fire to this historical property. The statement reads in part, "Fortunately, the attempt was unsuccessful, thanks to brave intervention of Good Samaritans and quick response of law enforcement. The home, part of the Martin Luther King Jr. National Historical Park in Atlanta, was purchased by King's grandfather in 1909 for $3,500. Boy, to be able to buy a house for $3,500 right now. King was born there on January 15th, 1929, and lived there with his siblings. The National Park Service, which officially acquired the home in 2018, closed it temporarily, starting on November 27th and continuing to November 2025 for rehabilitation work." Okay. All right. So I'm going to start taking calls. I'm going to start with Miss Fem Gems. How you doing today, Miss Lady? How are we? You muted, sweetheart.
Hi, Auntie Kendra.
Oh, look, somebody did up. Somebody looking good. Hey.
Happy birthday, everybody. I'm 20.
Oh, this your birthday. Happy birthday, sweetheart.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You look gorgeous.
Look at you. She got the shoulder out. She got the face done. Hello.
Thank you so much. How are you? I just asked you that. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm not going to be here long. I just want to say, don't y'all understand now why we're confused? Like, y'all ask, like, I ask these questions because I'm genuinely confused with the rhetoric that's out here. You see, like, I ask these questions because we're so misguided. Like, women do not understand men's nature. It will go a long way if you smile at men and you humanize men and you just be gracious. We are super abrasive, and I've never been able to relate when women be out here talking about, men don't do this. Me, I am very feminine. I'm very sweet. I'm very inviting and bubbly. You guys can see that. That's my aura. This is me through and through. So, like, ladies, it will go a long way if you just smile. and just surrender to your nature. That's all I want to say. Is like, you're right about this. Like, it's a problem. We really need to reclaim ourselves as women. Men need to feel needed. This whole men don't want damsels, what? That's crazy. Men need to feel needed. Value your man. Black sister, I want you to go up to your husband right now or your boyfriend and tell him that you love him and that you appreciate him.
And that you need him.
And you need him.
He is
That's
needed.
Okay. I love you guys. Bye.
Love you too, sweetheart. You have a good night, sweetie. It is extremely important to be able to tell men, the men in your life, that you need them. Need them. If you are a woman and you have a problem with telling your man or fixing your mouth to tell your husband or tell that you need him, I love you, I need you, and mean that, then you got to check inside of you. Because there is no way as a woman that is married to a man that you should have some type of inner issue or inner conflict of being able, or some type of inner disgust of some sort, to tell your husband how much, not only that he is loved, not only how much that he is appreciated, but how much you need him. Right? All right, so we got Brother Michael. How you doing today, Michael?
How you doing today? Want to say I apologize about this, and I apologize about last week. I was a little nervous, but
Okay.
I wanted to tell you that I'm glad somebody in the chat brought up that woman that was about to burn that Martin Luther King's house. I don't know if you hear it or not in the news, but they're going to start drafting females into World War III pretty soon. So.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you killing chivalry, you bringing feminism and stuff like that. Women are going to start being drafted like men. They're going to start being treated like men in the military. They're not going to have the option. They're just going to say, "Come, put on this hat, put on this gun. You finna go to war." And a lot of women who once were feminists, they're making the joke out of it on YouTube. So I wanted to see what you thought about that. I know you.
I don't keep up with
the
things
news.
like that, really, just to be honest with you. But I did hear that that was a potential for women to be drafted, and that would be a first, like in history, because even from the time of conscriptions, that's always been men and boys to be conscripted.
I don't have me personally. I don't have no problem being drafted into the military because I've always wanted to be in the military because I have an uncle that was in the Marine Corps. I would love to be in the Navy, but I don't know if they're going to draft me because I got a lot of personal things going on. But to get back to your dating situation, when I be at work working part-time at Wakefield, sometimes be asking the women, "Can I help you with your stuff? Can I help you to the car?" And I'd be, I got it. I don't need to do all that. What you trying to do all that for? So a lot of it is pride. I was on the Didi show and I was talking about the Jezebel spirit that's taking over America, and why men are now about to try to get their passports and about to try to go into other countries because they don't see that much Jezebel or feminist spirit that's going on here in America. And I was telling them that with the Jezebel spirit going on here in America, you may have to go to another country or something like that. I was telling them that women are doing it for themselves these days. They don't really need us no more. They feel like they don't need us no more, and they think that they can do it all themselves. So we can't. There's no amount of pandering to them because they act like they don't really know what they want. It's either you want a gentleman, you don't want a scrub. So we get our stuff together. We get out here, we get our grinding, we get our education, we get our value system. And I do mention the word value system at the DD show. We get our value system together, and then we go on ahead and we get ourselves together as men. Then you say, well, you too lame. You too lame. I don't want to be with you. You too lame. So we can't win for losing out here. So with that being said, like the man said, like Trey first said, I hope he's watching. Like Trey first said on the DD show, pretty soon we gonna have to start. Men are just gonna have to start going their own way because all sorts of women these days are saying, "Well, we don't need men. We don't want no scrub, or if he not a scrub, he a lame for this reason and that reason." And I'm kind of glad she brought up Cardi B and Beyonce. I know you're not, but you can sit here. You can listen to Beyonce and Cardi B all you want to. They got their husband. They got married. And Beyonce didn't leave Jay-Z after he cheated on her with dozens of women. Cardi B didn't leave what's his name? Takeoff, Offset, whatever his name is, after he cheated on her. So you can keep listening to those women all you want. You gonna be without a man. They gonna have their husband probably to the day they die until Jesus come back. So
yeah. And I agree, and I appreciate the time that you take to come up and give us your thoughts, Michael. I appreciate it. We're coming to the close of the show, so I'm only going to take one more. Okay. And I'm going to take
hello?
What I'm going to do is take her, but thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good night.
You too. All right. All right. Miss LD, how you doing today, sweetheart?
I am so okay. I'm excited. So I'm going to take a deep breath. First of all, I'm doing great. I am happy to be here. I want to tell you, thank you. First of all, you have, through your content, through the things that you and Father's Time have come up with, the things you've created, that has given me the ability to talk to my child and my children and give them different information about this stuff. I can actually articulate these things to them. So it's been vitally important. It's one thing to say, hey, don't do this or don't do that. It's a whole nother thing to be able to give them these things the way that they need to be said and they can understand it. So thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you know that goes a long way. I feel bad for women out here right now. But really I feel bad for the brothers because I live in Atlanta and I know the change that I've seen over the years, just how I move out here. I see that it's going to basically nothing. You know, I lead always in kindness and graciousness. That's the way that I was taught. That's the way I was raised. I've never had a problem out here ever. So that's once I started to hear women, oh, these men, I'm like, I don't know. I don't understand what your problem is because I've never had a problem. If I've ever been, I've had multiple instances where I've been on the side of the road or there's some issue going on and there's always a brother, always, who's like, you need some help, you good? And I appreciate that. So I make it a point. Like there's women out there, I know there's not a lot of us, but there's enough of us that will go out of our way to say, thank you for holding that door. Thank you for grabbing that. Thank you for doing this, doing that. I'm vocal about that. And my husband knows that because it burns my biscuit when my husband holds the door or he does something nice and they just walk on by. They don't say anything. I'm like, you're welcome. So I get a little snippy about that. But it's they're getting what they asked for. This is what you asked for. You asked for
that.
It is.
They asked for it. They advocated and said, we do not need y'all to do nothing, not even so much as being nice to us. We don't even need that. We don't need your kindness. Somehow that didn't translate to not needing their money.
Right.
Now, I need to know how that worked because we don't need them. But, you got to take me to, you can't take me to Cheesecake Factory. You got to take
Right.
me to whatever these 5-star restaurants. These chicks are Googling restaurants, mind you. They have never been inside of these establishments. So I don't understand how not needing them, but needing their money. I don't get that. But here's what I want to do. Before I let you go and possibly get to Sister Lulu, which I'm going to request Lulu get on camera in the background at least. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Lady, because I hear you saying that you have children and you have a husband. How long have you been married?
I've been married 8 years this year. So it was 8 years, August 1st. We've been together 10 years. We knew we were going to get married. Well, my husband knew he was going to marry me a couple months in. So yeah, that's where we're at. And we have 4 children, excuse me, because he has an older daughter. But our kids are fairly young, all under the age of 15 as of January. I have a 15-year-old. I'm sorry. And yeah, so that's where we're at.
It's tripped out when they start getting older, because it's like, I'm still your mama, but I gotta let you have some leeway though too. So yeah,
he's been stronger than me for like 3 years. Like, there's nothing you can do at a certain point. Like I don't get the ones who are like, oh, I don't know. Where your daddy at?
Tell me, that's the enforcer right there. Oh, I don't scare you no more. Bet.
Right.
I know who do though.
It's cool. I got something for you.
Right.
Someone.
It's cool. Keep on playing your Xbox and don't clean the room. I got you. When
it's all
your
good.
daddy get home, we gonna see what he think about that.
Because I don't have. He's like, yeah, okay. I became a woman talking to him at like 11.
Yeah,
like,
that girl. And I don't think mothers handle that very well or really even know that.
No.
After about 11, 12 years old, you're just a woman talking to him.
That's it. That's it. And you're lucky he'll respect you if there's somebody there to make him respect you. But at times, yeah. So
yeah.
Well, I appreciate this time. I'm glad that I got a chance to get on here to say that. I got so much more to add, so I'll call in on another day. But that's it for today. I'll get out your way.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Miss LD. And you have a good rest of your evening, sweetheart.
You too. Good night.
All right. Bye-bye. Miss Lulu, if you able to get, there we go. All right, here we go, Miss Lulu. How you doing, lady?
I am doing pretty good. Happy Friday. So I'm going to make this very quick because this has been getting on my chest for a while. I know I'm kind of going off subject, but I had wanted to piggyback what the young man had said earlier about women like, oh, you're lame, you're broke, you're this and that. I want to say one thing, and me as a Black woman, I have to admit this, and I know a lot of people are going to get triggered. When it comes to Black women and their standards on the type of men that they want is unrealistically skewed. Meaning they want the Black man to make 6 figures. They want the Black man to be in shape. They want the Black man to not eat pork. He can't have baby mamas. He got to take me to a 5-star restaurant, no Cheesecake Factory. But when it comes to a white man, especially bottom shelf Brads, all he's got to do is pay her a simple compliment. Oh my God, a white guy paid me a compliment. Getting a number.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Listen, I got the perfect example of the standards not standarding when it comes to what Black women want. We all know Tamar had a zaddy, right? Now, the first thing first is that he was a baby daddy. Okay, like
did he have 4 baby mamas?
He had like 4 baby mamas.
Yeah.
Now, if you've been keeping up even a little bit, just a little bit, Tamar's been having a lot of problems lately over the past year or two. Okay.
She has.
She had been sleeping in her car, she said. She had been getting robbed back to back, like no matter kind of where she was at. And she had told everybody that she was broke up from Zaddy baby daddy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. The day she got robbed.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't feel safe with nobody. I don't feel safe nowhere. Okay. She had all that going on. Recently, though, somebody got back together with Zaddy.
Oh, yeah. I watched.
And you can't stop her from cheesing ear to ear, baby. She like, yeah, I got my man back. That she all in the car, rubbing his head and all this other kind of stuff. Now, here's my issue with that, Miss Lulu, and everybody watching. There is no black man alive that she would have accepted any of that foolishness from. From the full-time baby daddy to not, she accused him of not helping her during the times where that, especially this last time when she got robbed and they was all going through her car in the garage and blah, 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 blah. And she was basically saying she didn't feel safe and that he did not come to her and he didn't really help her and he didn't really support her the way that she thought that, you know, a man should do for his woman or whatever. And they broke up, blah, 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 blah. How do you come back from that? How is it that Zaddy could come back from that, but Vince couldn't come back from being a leader, a multimillionaire, marrying you, and being instrumental in picking up your career, such that 10 years later you still doing Love and War Tour?
You did a video on him, on on Tamar and all that other stuff, but they don't talk about the downfalls. I think, and this is the issue with black men too, a lot of them value whiteness. As long as you got this skin complexion, the fact that, and the whole fetishization in itself, you're automatically disqualified anyways, but they don't look past that because that's an issue in itself. You know the history, because I'm FBA all the way, 100% proud of it. Knowing the history, because the black fetishization of black bodies came from slavery, and it's an issue now because you have individuals, not saying all white people, but you have a lot of them who did not grow up around a lot of black folks. You grew up around white people your whole life, and now all of a sudden you want a black woman. Where are you getting this from? All of these cluster Fs, like seriously, all these cluster Fs that you see on TV, which are very poor examples of how we are as black women. Can you twerk? Well, not all black women can twerk, you know? So it's like, that's where the fetishization is coming from. And we all know the examples on who they are and how they, you know, and how they appear themselves. I call them modern day minstrel souls, to be honest with you. That's what I call them. But it's like, it's a very poor example. And you have black women who have low self-esteem and they fall for that. Like, oh my God, he paid me a compliment. But when it comes to black men, your standards are ridiculous. Like, it's not fair. And which is a lot of the reasons why they date outside their race. Is like, black women are ridiculous. So I'm gonna go get me a Becky. I'm gonna go get me a Maria who appreciates me, and I date out. So it's just like, you have a lot of these divestment channels. One got struck down. You won't see her again. That talk about all black men, they hate us. They think black women are fat, we're ugly, we're unworthy of love, we're unworthy of protection, but we're not looking at ourselves as the real reason why black men date out. Because the standards are up here. It's
and
like
the behavior is not.
The behavior.
And that's really the key, because they'll say, well, I just want a man that provides and da 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 da, and that's fine. Every woman, women say that, black women say that, like every woman don't want that. Every woman in the world that's looking for a man, looking for a husband, would like for him to provide and things of that nature, right? We call them the 4 Ps over here.
Yeah,
we all want that. That goes without saying. The men aren't actually having a problem with that. They don't have a problem with, okay, I come in, I get set down, structure in our lives and in our relationship. I run a relationship and all these other things. And as long as women understand her role within that structure, men don't actually have a problem doing any of that. I think I'm going to say this and then I'm going to kind of wrap the show up. Here's the thing. I think it's several layers to it, because we as females, as women, and particularly black women, but this kind of goes all over. We don't have, how can I put this? Because I'm almost losing my train of thought. Please excuse me. we don't have a proper understanding, first of all, of men.
We don't.
And we don't have a proper understanding of us as women. So we get into these discussions about what the men are supposed to have and what the men are supposed to do and how we're supposed to benefit from them, and kind of get offended when men say, okay, well, what do I get out of being with you? I know what you get. You know what you get. You know you want to get. So how does this work?
Yeah.
The fact that we can't tolerate a conversation about reciprocity speaks even deeper than interpersonal relationship dynamics.
Yeah.
That actually goes deeper down into the collective spiritual value, because as people, especially if we want to call ourselves quote unquote good people, that should go without saying. The golden rule is to do unto others as you would have others do unto you. That's the golden rule. Where did we lose that? Because that is a statement of reciprocity. That is a statement of doing something and then having that energy be exchanged and returned on the same level. And because we don't subscribe to that at all, has led to the breakdown of pretty much every other value underneath that, which is why the 10 life values is so important. But I'm gonna land my plane, let you get the last word, and then we're gonna wrap the show.
Okay, so I just want to, get that out my chest, and you make some good points. I recently just started following your channel, and I was like, wow, where has she been all my life? Let me subscribe to her. So, because we don't get enough women empowerment channels like yourself. It's like whole Black women, this whole Black people and accountable, but don't drag us down like them staunch Republicans like Candace Owens, like, oh, you guys suck. Juneteenth is so lame. Oh my God. Black folks need to do this. We need to do that. But you have no solutions on how we can be better. You're just being anti-Black, and we don't get enough.
No problem. All right, Miss Lulu.
All right. Have a good
Thank
night.
you so much, sweetheart.
Thank you.
All right. You have a good one. Okay, so I know I got a couple more people in the background, but I gotta wrap the show up because I gotta go. So I know I see you, Brother Nuruddin. I thank you so much for even showing up. I appreciate you. And so maybe next time we'll be able to talk, but I gotta wrap this show up. The last thing that I have to do is read some of these super chats, and then we gotta go. Thank you, Miss Mia. So I'm still smacking on yesterday's leftovers. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you so much again. Nuruddin said a news story shows 2 Black male New York City police officers stopped her until the Atlanta police officers arrested her. Now the FBI is involved. Exactly. Kendra, she's not only facing state charges, what she did was a federal offense. Now the FBI getting involved. Yeah, because you can't vandalize, deface, or otherwise destroy landmarks, because those are like state and federally protected by law. Thank you, Quest for Truth. The men have already soared to higher levels. I want to thank everyone for coming through. I want to thank the ladies and gentlemen for coming up for the call-in portion of the show. I appreciate all of you. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.